The iPhone 15 might just be the biggest upgrade since the iPhone 11, and I pre-ordered one just in time and it arrives on Friday this week. A lot of people believe the iPhone 15 is not really an upgrade, and I mean sure, it has last year's chipsets, the same design, same weight, and even the same battery capacity to some extent. However, context is everything, and I have a lot of thoughts about it. I will also be explaining why I feel the iPhone 15 is the perfect phone choice based on my experience with the iPhone 14 after using it for an entire year. I'm KJOS, and this is why I break down the latest tech into simple terms. Now, before we get into specs and the new features, let's talk about the most important feature for the iPhone, and that is the price. The price of the regular iPhone hasn't really changed for a long time. It is the standard $799 and $999 for the iPhone 15 Pro before tax. Now, while I feel Apple should have made this $699 for many reasons I'll discuss, it is not really a bad deal when you really think about it. Let's take a look at the iPhone 14 from last year. Fast forward to last week, and there is a difference between the iPhone 14 and the 15, which I'll get to in a moment. Now, there are two reasons why I feel the pricing for the iPhone is still good. For $799, you're getting one of the best cameras on the smartphone, a few pro-like features, and a processor that still makes the iPhone 14 a great phone to have. Second reason is, if you have an older iPhone from say the 11 to the 14, Apple has a few trade deals that may work in your favor. Do you guys think the price is decent or great? Let me know down in the comments, and if you're enjoying this video, a sub to the channel and a like to this video will go a long way. Moving to what the phone actually looks like, as usual, the 15 and the 15 Plus comes in two sizes, 6.1 inches and 6.7 inches. I usually opt for the smaller version because they are much more comfortable and reduce hand fatigue. However, the iPhone 15's form factor now has a more contoured edge for an easier grip, and it comes in 5 colors: pink, green, yellow, blue, and black. If this sort of reminds you of the iPhone 13 and the 14, then you're not alone. Over time, the iPhone colors have been washed out, so I'm very curious to see what Apple will bring out with the iPhone 16. The back will be made of glass, of course, while the display will be protected by the ceramic shield. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on who you're talking to, the iPhone 15 will still have that mute switch and not the action button on the Pro models. Again, some people want that mute switch while others really want the action button. Also, the 15 maintains its IP rating of IP68 water and dust resistant, and that is not a surprise, and I did not expect anything less. Now, what has changed, or the biggest change from Apple in over a decade, is removing the Lightning cable and adding USB-C. This might be good news and bad news at the same time. The good news is you can now charge your phone, your AirPods, your MacBook, your iPad with one single charger. No need to bring multiple chargers when you're traveling or when you're moving about. The bad news is if you own the Apple keyboard or the Magic Mouse or any other Apple peripheral, then the Lightning cable will be needed. Now, I see Apple also replacing these devices in the future with USB-C compatibility, which in turn means you need to upgrade your devices, which also means you have to spend more money. The display gets a huge upgrade with the iPhone 15. If you saw the dynamic island on the 14 Pro and wondered if it will ever come to the standard iPhone, well, your time is now. The iPhone 15 will now have the dynamic island completely moving away from the notch, and I think this is a good direction. Apart from making all the new phones have the same uniform design, it gives the consumers a bigger incentive if they do not really want the Pro models instead. Very nice. Also, there is a big boost with its brightness. It now has 2000 nits of max brightness, which is doubled from the iPhone 14, and that is great news if I'm being honest. The 14 under direct sunlight wasn't exactly the most visible, so this answers a major pain point. However, I can't believe Apple is still doing this. The iPhone 15 will still have a 60Hz display, and it doesn't make sense to me. And yes, I know people don't care or people will notice, but I feel it's just a duty of care. And I get it, Apple wants to differentiate the 15 from the 15 Pro, or maybe the research is showing that people will not be aware or aren't aware. Why not just, I don't know, reduce the price to $699? I would really love to have a discussion about this. Do you guys care for a 90Hz or a 120Hz display? hit me up right now in the comment section and let's have a discussion. Now, before we continue, just a quick note that I have started a Patreon. It is only $3 a month, so if you've enjoyed my content, please consider subscribing, as it will go a long way in helping me release videos consistently. Thank you for considering. Okay, before I forget, the iPhone 15 comes with the older A16 Bionic chip that was in the iPhone 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max. Going by my experience with the 14 Pro's performance, it has been really consistent over the last year, which is no surprise. Now, whether you're getting this phone to make content, play a ton of mobile games, or just use it for your everyday workflow, it's usually very snappy and I've not really had any issues with it performance-wise. I think the biggest thing relating to performance that most people need to be concerned about is iOS. Now, when I had iOS 16 over the last year, it had apps crashing, my battery percentage was not showing even when I was charging it, and it was unable to pair my AirPods with my phone, and many other things. Luckily, iOS 17 is currently out and it's been stable so far, and hopefully it'll be the same with iOS 16, only time will tell. Moving to the cameras, the iPhone 15's main wide-angle camera is a 48 megapixel lens, a huge bump from the 12 megapixel last year. It also has a 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens that is capable of telephoto and improvements to the portrait mode, which means you won't have to manually switch to portrait mode anymore. There is also improvements to night mode as well as action mode if you ever used it, and if you love taking pictures with the front-facing camera, this is for you because the iPhone 15 now has autofocus and portrait lighting. I'm just hoping with its software and its computational photography, pictures won't make my skin darker. Till this day, I'm not really sure why that is, and it's why I take most of my pictures with the Pixel 7 or the Galaxy S23 Ultra. As you can see, my reasons for pre-ordering the iPhone 15 are in tandem with the average consumer, aka you guys that are watching my videos. It is compact with its design, it comes in brighter and better colors, the display has seen a change for the better, and the cameras have been improved. What more can anyone ask for? That being said, what do you guys think of the iPhone 15? Is it worth it? Comment down below and let me know. And as usual, subscribe if you got any value from this and share this video with as many people as you can. Thank you guys for watching. My name again is KJOS and I'll catch you guys in the next one.